Hi Scorpio, how you doing? I'm going to pull some cards for you. I'm going to do you a Celtic cross. So these readings have turned out to be quite in depth, about an hour long. Go make yourself a cup of tea, make yourself comfortable. Ooh, I'm very on camera now. I faffed around with my phone. I feel like I'm properly looking at you. It's a general reading. That means I'm not pulling on any particular area of life. We will see what comes through. To a certain extent, it is for you to take the energies that I'm talking about and apply it to your life as you see fit. I might be talking about a person as a romantic partner or something. You might see them more as a family member or relating to a job, that sort of thing. And it's a collective reading, of course, so not every single message necessarily will apply, okay? Take the bits that resonate, leave the rest behind. The whole thing is supposed to prompt your own thinking and your own intuition, okay? None of this is set in stone. Please don't make decisions based on some random woman pulling cards on YouTube, please. Having said that, this shit is helpful, I truly believe, and I do think there's something here for you if you found the channel, if you found the reading. So not to dismiss it, but please use it responsibly. I try to give it out as responsibly as I can. You need to take it as responsibly as you can. Okay, what's at the heart of the matter for Scorpio, please? Strength. Nice. Scorpio stepping into their power. So the Strength card, it's all about kind of feeling powerful within yourself, but not in a way that wields power over other people. So that's a nice energy to have at the centre of your reading. There's a lot of compassion in the Strength card. A lot of understanding. You might... I do find Scorpios a bit wild. So this might be about taming your own wildness, but you know, that's a balance, isn't it? That's all about balance. Let's see what the challenge is for Scorpio. Challenge, please, is the Page of Cups. Interesting. I actually feel like you feel quite passionately and strongly towards something or someone, Scorpio, but you are holding yourself back a bit. You're like, oh, I'm just going to give them a little expression of how I'm feeling. Yeah, I feel like you're holding yourself back, you know, like the way she's holding the mouth in a lion. Do you feel like, and I don't think it's because sometimes when we talk about holding ourselves back, we're talking like Four of Pentacles energy, Seven of Swords energy, like which feels a bit defensive, let's say. But this doesn't feel defensive, it just feels cautious towards something new, and just the idea that you don't want to move things too fast, you don't want to overwhelm someone, you don't want to overwhelm yourself. That's how it's coming through. So by the way, with these Celtic cross readings, what I'm doing is I'm just pulling each position, and I'll talk a bit about what comes out, and then we're going to go in with different decks to kind of clarify and get more information, just so you know. What's crowning the issue, please? Seven of Wands. So I spoke about defensiveness, didn't I? I said it didn't feel like defensiveness, but now the cards are like, Natasha, we disagree. It's almost like you're trying to distance yourself from your own feelings, I'm feeling, with the way he's holding this wand. I don't know. Yeah, we'll get onto that later. I don't know, that's quite interesting. I mean, yeah. Or somebody else could be offering you their cup. and you're feeling a bit defensive about it as well, actually. I just feel like you've got an awful lot to express and say, but you're holding back on saying it. It doesn't feel... I mean, I do kind of stick by what I said originally, because it doesn't feel defensive in a reactive way. That's the best way to put it. It doesn't feel defensive in a reactive way. It just feels defensive in a sort of like self-protective way that I'm seeing as a sort of positive, to be honest. I'm not seeing it as that sort of negative defensiveness that stops you forming connections. I'm seeing it as more of a sensible defensiveness that actually aids connections. That's the best way I can put it. Yeah. Yeah. Recent past, please, for Scorpio. Recent past for Scorpio. The Two of Wands has come out in reverse. So that's kind of moving out of an energy of deciding what you want to do, what actions you want to take, and moving into an energy of kind of planning what actions you want to take and sort of starting to take them. But I don't exactly feel like you're quite there yet with how you want to take the actions. And there's a sense of pride in you, actually. Knight of Swords just showed its face for the what's below you. That's interesting. That would make sense, but we'll see if it comes out again. It's like... yeah, there's a bit of a sense of pride in you. But pride's not quite the right word. It's just a sense of not wanting to give too much. It all feels very sensible and grounded to me, even though we are getting sort of cards of, or energies of kind of caution and in a sort of defensiveness, but it just, I don't know, it feels right. It feels right. Okay, what's below for Scorpio, please? These cards are really making me look like a tit today, aren't they? I don't know what to say. This is just scrap this bloody reading now. No, I don't do that. Yeah, kind of a holding back. Something in your subconscious is holding you back. Some gut instinct is causing you to not quite give. But this is good, because we've got your sort of above and below are matching energies, I think, in a certain respect. I wonder if you quite know what's at the root of why you are not giving as much as you possibly could. I think it just... even though the Four of Pentacles has come out, the energy still doesn't feel selfish or controlling or anything like that. It feels... we're going to get a Seven of Swords now, just because, yeah. It feels like sensible, cautious self-preservation, but it doesn't feel like it's to the detriment of making a connection. Like I'm repeating myself. I'm repeating myself. I've got nothing more to say on that until we clarify. Let's look at your near future. Near future is a Five of Cups. Oh, Scorpio. That is a sense of loss, a sense of sadness. I see. I see. So what's going on here is this idea of holding back a little bit. I don't know how to describe it without making you sound like you're being manipulative and putting someone through some sort of test, which is not the way I see it at all. How do I describe this? It feels like a kind of healthy holding back to really try and see if someone's interested in you, to see if someone else will put in the same amount of effort as you know you're capable of. I feel like you're in a bit of a situation at the moment where you feel like you might just be slightly overextending yourself in order to reach someone else. And it's like within you, you know you need to hold back a bit because you don't want to be doing all the work. And that's showing up kind of above and below you as sort of, all right, I'm just going to hold back a bit here, because I'm not sure if I'm just putting in a little bit too much into this situation. And it almost feels to me like in the near future, with this sense of sadness, you sort of find out that you were right. And that the connection between you is overly dependent on the amount of effort that you are putting in. So apply that to your life as you see fit. So it was a good call, I think, Scorpio, to do this. But obviously when you then do feel like it's not quite, your energy's not quite being reciprocated, it does leave you with a sense of sadness. I'm not, apply this to your life as you see fit. I'm not looking at this saying, oh my God, therefore this whole connection that this seems to be based around is definitely over. And it doesn't have to be a romantic connection anyway, and it doesn't necessarily really feel like that anyway. It might more be a family thing. I feel like all this is just pointing you towards recognizing a certain dynamic and maybe pointing you towards what could be discussed to improve things, potentially, if that's what you want. It's not necessarily a, well, therefore I need to completely walk away from this situation type energy to me. Okay, strengths for Scorpio, please. Strengths for Scorpio. Oh, I don't want 2 cards. I'm going to take this as strengths, and I'm going to take this as your environment. So we've got 8 of Pentacles reversed in your strengths. Eight of Pentacles is a very individual energy. It's the energy of being quite focused on practical tasks, focused on work. Maybe could be a focus on hobbies. But very sort of practical, hands-on hobbies specifically for some reason. This would not be the energy of you just curling up in bed and reading a book, for example. This is focus on either work, your paid job, volunteer work, or just some sort of project that's really important to you and brings you fulfillment. So what I'm seeing here is that your strength is when you are having to hold back from a certain relationship. As we've described already, you divert and redirect your energy into personal projects that are important to you, which is nice to see in your strength, Scorpio. Environment, reversed Hermit. Yeah, you might be withdrawing into your own home space quite a lot here, which would make sense if you're holding back from kind of expressing yourself in order to, it's a little bit got the feeling of giving somebody else space because you're aware that they need it, but there is then sadness attached to always attached to them then taking that space. Hopes and fears for Scorpio, please. Hopes and fears for Scorpio. Thank you. You're scared of things ending. Got another 10 nearly wanting to come out. You're scared of the pain of this person or this relationship having that distance. And I feel like you're scared of this situation, whatever it is, coming to an end in a way that possibly you are worried that you might regret. There's a sense here of being worried about regretting taking, sort of being in this Seven of Wands, Four of Pentacles energy, which feels right to me, and I think it feels right to you. It's just that it almost feels like you sort of have the knowledge that your actions could bring about this outcome of sort of a feeling of loss and potentially some sort of ending. So then there's a little twinge of regret of, well, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I shouldn't have pulled back in the way that I did. But, you know, if you're feeling that you're putting too much in, which is the sense I get, then it's always going to be the correct action to pull back in a way that kind of aligns with your values, aligns with just what you know to be the right course of action. Yeah, it feels like the right course of action. And you know what? I don't think it necessarily is going to bring about an ending. I see that you're worried about it. And of course it is a hope and a fear. So in a sense, there is the hope that if this situation just isn't right for me, then it's only right that it comes to a natural end. But yeah, it's like, you know, the decisions that you're making, you know that the behaviours you're taking could potentially bring about an ending based on someone else's response to how you're behaving. And that is a kind of, that ending therefore is showing up as a sort of hope and a fear for you. It's a fear because obviously that would be really sad, and there's always sadness in this card with all those bloody swords in the back, sadness and pain. But also it's a hope in that you know that if it did end, then that's right. But let's look at your outcome, because I don't feel it is necessarily moving towards an ending. And this is a potential outcome, of course, because everyone has free will, you and other people. But let's just try and see where all these energies are taking us. An outcome, please, for Scorpio. You're going to get the Death card now, I tell you. I've got 2 cards there. I don't really want 2 cards. I'm going to replace those. 7 of Pentacles, reverse 9 of Cups. Outcome for Scorpio. I only want 1 card, please. Thank you. Okay. It's the 6 of Wands. It did come out reversed. I don't know. I'm going to have to wait until we clarify that to talk more about your outcome. 6 of Wands upright is about a sense of victory, a sense of success. It's reversed. It's a bit of a tricky one to call. I don't know. I really feel it could go either way. We'll get under it better with another deck. But what I would say is, whichever way it does go, it's the right outcome, because you've behaved in a way that sits right with you, and I mean, I'm not here to judge, but it looks, from the energies I'm feeling, it looks like a course of action that's for your highest good. It does. So yeah, that's the best way I can put it. You see, I really am feeling that Six of Wands energy as a, so sometimes with reversals we can go opposite the meaning of the cards, but often the reversal more indicates a sort of incoming or weaker energy of the card, and that's what I'm feeling there, kind of a weak or underdeveloped feeling of success. It's just that the success may not take the form that you were hoping for, because I obviously think the hope that is here is that this person steps up, and I don't know if that's going to happen, but either way the outcome's going to help you move forward in a positive way. Right, Scorpio, let's look underneath this Strength card for you. Temperance in reverse. Tell me more about this. Oh, why have I got what's that? Chucking my cards everywhere. Tell me more about this Strength card for Scorpio, please. Tell me more about this Strength card for Scorpio. Four of Swords. Yeah. It's healing energies here. It's like you're coming out of a healing energy, coming out of a period of private reflection that you've really taken your time with, actually. I don't think they were meant to fall out. They were just, that's just my careless shuffling. One more, please, for the Strength card. Thank you. Ah, yes. Stepping into your power. I did say the Empress is like awesome energy. I really like it for you. I really like it for you. I did say, didn't I, originally, when I was speaking about that Strength card, that it was about finding that balance between wild Scorpio and a kind of more tempered Scorpio. So that makes sense why that Temperance has come out. I feel like you're still learning about finding that balance with this, with both these cards being in reverse. But you're definitely moving towards having that balance with the Empress there. It's just a really nice nurturing energy. It's gentle. It's gentle but powerful. It's just a real gentle yet powerful energy surrounding you. Like I really see you not taking any shit, Scorpio, but you're doing it with great kindness and great compassion. Okay, tell me more about this Page of Cups, please, which is in the challenge position. I feel like this is kind of two different scenarios for different lots of you. I think this is incoming energy of an apology for some of you that you're quite rightly defensive about, but not in a bad way. And for some of you, it's a new situation where you are quite excited and want to offer someone a cup of your love, but you're not being overly wild in the way that you're expressing it. You are sort of holding back again, but in a way that I'm seen as quite positive. Okay, tell me more about this Page of Cups for Scorpio. Oh dear, that's 4 cards. A King of Pentacles in reverse. That's that energy of holding back yet again. The Devil in reverse. Yeah, Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands fell out earlier underneath the Strength card. And the Star in reverse. There's a feeling here that if you go too fast, if you don't hold back somewhat, I keep coming back to this idea of you holding back, and that holding back is the correct thing for you to do. Because there's a lot of passion here. A major spark, major chemistry. But you see, I hate to be unromantic, but chemistry is often when two people's trauma kind of rubs up against each other. That can produce quite the spark, quite the feeling of chemistry. And it's unromantic, and I'm sorry, but I happen to think it's true, and that's me, and that's my opinion. That's nothing mystical coming from the cards, I have to be honest. But what I'm seeing here is a Scorpio that's aware of that, aware of where these feelings of chemistry and spark not necessarily always come from, but definitely can come from. Therefore, you're not rushing in like crazy into this situation, whether it is someone apologising to you who's from your past, or whether it's a new situation. You're holding yourself back, even though you know the end result might be sadness and loss, because you know that if that end result of sadness and loss is produced, then it's sad, but it's right. Okay? It's very tempting. You see, this is all about temptation. It's very tempting to do otherwise. It's very, very tempting to go with that Ace of Wands and just go wild and be that wild Scorpio. But the devil came out in reverse. So I see that you're kind of on top of that energy, especially with the reverse King of Pentacles, which is that kind of held backness, because you don't want to undo your healing. Because, did I say we've got the Four of Swords underneath that Strength card with Temperance, very healing energy. You know that there's the potential for you to, well, not really undo healing. You can't really undo healing, can you? That doesn't quite make sense, but you don't want to go back to old patterns, which the devil talks about. And the star in a way is recognition of those patterns and healing what's at the core of those patterns. Either which way, anyway, if there's more work to be done, it's all going to be shown up by this situation one way or another. But I feel like this is a Scorpio who's done quite a lot of the work, and things are going to turn out differently this time because of your own behaviour, and it's going to be success. The end result is going to be success. It's just success might look like something that feels quite sad. I don't know. That's a possibility. Okay, what's above, please? I hope this is all making sense to you. It kind of makes sense to me, but I don't know if I'm explaining it all that well. Let me know in the comments. And also, if you like the video, please like and share and subscribe and all that. Okay, what's above for Scorpio? What's above? What's above? Eight of Cups reversed. Yeah. It's like, you know, the action you're taking is going to result in one of you walking away if the other person can't meet your energy. You know that you'll have to walk away, or that they will walk away. You know that might happen, but yet you know the right thing to do is to hold back. But there is this feeling that you're bringing about some sort of loss. However, it's like correct that should happen. Okay, tell me more about this Seven of Wands. Yeah, you see? That came out in reverse, but there you have it. So it's the Four of Pentacles, which is matching what's going on below. I do like it when we see replicated energies here, And I was already seeing a replicated energy, and that's just further confirmation. You know, because it means I'm looking at a Scorpio who's not at odds with themselves. And obviously, if you were at odds with yourself, I'm not going to sit here and judge that, and it would, you know, hopefully give us something helpful to talk about. But this is good to see. It's good to see. You're not denying parts of yourself. Cool. I'm going to leave that there with the above energy, which is sort of your conscious mind. I'm going to look at your recent past. Your recent past. I feel like you're doing a lot of work on yourself. Who knows what we're going to see here? Maybe a little page of swords. Maybe a little research. Recent past. Recent past for Scorpio. Ooh, the Tower. Yeah, right. Okay. Okay. Nice. I'm happy with that. We've got the Star in your present, which always follows on beautifully from the Tower. All right, you've done some serious work on yourself. Serious work on yourself. No messing. It's good. It's good. Judgment in reverse. These are big energies. Whew, big energies under a 2 of Wands. What else for Scorpio, please? What else for Scorpio, please? Yeah. Interesting. Very interesting. And justice. Holy shit. Jesus, Scorpio. You're fucking amazing. You really are. Do you know that? Do you even know that? I'm not sure you do. Well, a little bit I think you do with these energies, but like it's all underneath a bloody 2 of Wands, which is a little bit of not being sure. Yeah, okay, I mean I don't want to like give you a big head or anything, but Christ on a bike. You have done some serious work on yourself here, and yes, it might have felt very uncomfortable and very intense, and it might have felt like your hand was forced a bit here. Like the universe was stepping in and saying, oi, you Scorpio, sort your shit out. But you've done the work. Well, the work is always ongoing, but God, you've made some massive strides here. I think a key lesson that you've learned in the past is like knowing or developing your own sense of self-worth and fairness around how you should be treated, and then making correct judgment calls in order to communicate how you deserve to be treated. And it looks like what's currently happening is that form of communication is actually a lesson in communication, if that makes sense. Yeah. You are really standing up for your needs here, standing up for yourself, which comes from that sense of knowing yourself and knowing what your needs are and knowing what you deserve and knowing that it's only fair that you actually get them and get that sense of balance. I love it. I love it, even though, like, so what it is, yeah. So this this sadness is connected to, because of this kind of new Scorpio that's emerging, what happens is sometimes people fall away and out of your life because they had an attachment to the old you, the Scorpio that didn't stand up for their own needs, didn't know their own needs and all this. So this actually could be more than one person that's producing this sort of 5 of Cups energy in the future, because you now don't overgive to situations, you don't do the work of 2 people, you do stand up for your needs. With Judgment and the Page of Cups, there is a bit of an energy of possibly someone coming in from the past to apologise, but you are not taking any shit. If this is a half-assed apology, you are not having any of it. They have to come at you in the right energy. And potentially, I'm not sure if they are going to do that with this 5 of Cups here, but it could go either way. It's nice. I like it. Massive, massive energies in your past there. Incredible. Okay, what's below? Tell me more for Scorpio. Page of... It's that Page of Cups again. It's that Page of Cups. For some of you, someone is expecting an apology from you and you're holding back and not giving the apology because it's always you that apologises to maintain the relationship. But you've now realised that any apology you make has to be authentic and coming from the right place inside you. The Moon in reverse, the King of Wands in reverse, the Hanged Man in reverse. Okay. These are all in your subconscious. Holding back, not taking action. That Moon's interesting. I mean, I suppose to a certain extent the Moon does represent our subconscious anyway. It really just backs up what I've already said, because the King of Wands in reverse is not taking action. The Hanged Man is not taking action. Why is that Moon there? Why is the Moon there for Scorpio? Oh, that flew out, didn't it? Three of Cups. Three of Cups is about a really open, like vulnerable expression of emotion. That's what you're keeping under your Moon. That's what you're keeping under your Moon. You know you're capable of this. Like, this energy is beautiful when this energy happens. And to be honest, you know, well, actually, no, we don't need to know about me. But you know you deserve that natural flow of emotion in a relationship, whatever that relationship is, whether it's work, romantic, family. You know you deserve that. And you also know that if someone else isn't capable of participating in that, then you should pause. And you should pause. And not try to do their part of the deal for them. And it's like, that's something that recently you exposed about yourself, that you've brought out from under a Moon. The knowledge that you deserve. You deserve that openness and that vulnerability from another person, and you deserve the safety of being able to have that openness and vulnerability expressed in yourself. Which previously I think maybe you denied your need for this, but now you're more comfortable with your need for this, which I think's the right way to be. It's a perfectly reasonable human need, because it's beautiful when you get it right. But, you know, it takes two, well, or more, but it's out of your control whether another person can step up and provide you with that. And I think you've realised that it's out of your control and that you can't force another person to behave in that way, and that if they're not behaving in that way, you need to step away. Okay, near future, Five of Cups, please. Oh, the Devil again. Do you know, I haven't had the Devil since I've started up my channel. I've hardly been getting the Devil at all. until you, Scorpio. That's fine. Did it come out? I don't know if it came out reversed. Healing again, and another Five of Cups. Five of Cups to clarify. Five of Cups. Yeah. So it's almost like, you know, there is this sense of sadness and loss in your future, but there's also the sense that it's telling you something, and this sense of no regrets on your part, because you did your best with embracing this Three of Cups energy to the extent that you could, which no longer are you doing it in a way that tries to control the person on the other end of this exchange. And that Four of Pentacles is all about control, so that's why it's here. It's about recognizing when you need to let go of that control. Yeah, recognizing your own patterns of behavior. The Devil's in reverse. Healing your own patterns of behavior. You know, this Four of Swords is it's stabbing this horned goat. It is. I think you've done a lot of healing. I mean, Tower, Judgment, Justice in your recent past. You've done a lot of healing, and you are seeing the results of it. And yes, the results of it are sad, because it means you are losing people who can't match you, simply put. But in your strengths, you are capable of, when you have to step away from a situation, you are capable of embracing your own hobbies and talents and doing that work on yourself. Tell me more about this Eight of Pentacles, please. Tell me more about this Eight of Pentacles for Scorpio. Thank you. The Sun, the Star, the Six of Cups. Jesus. How many times have we had the Star out now? Is it just once? No, it is just once. Anyway, God, you have done so much fucking healing. You've got no... Well, you probably do have an idea. But, like, this is fucking beautiful. It really is. The Star and the Sun. And I like how the Star's upright and the Sun's in reverse, because the Sun's... Sorry, my cats are going mad. The Sun is... How do I say? It's a little bit more superficial than the Star, right? The energy of the Sun can be, and especially in reverse, the energy of the Sun can be attained with a lot less difficulty than the energy of the Star. The energy of the Sun can sometimes feel a bit like instant gratification or a more surface level feeling of happiness, but the Star goes much deeper. It's much more sustainable. It's much more, I don't know, how do I say? My cat's putting me off by climbing all over my shelves. So this is an interesting card because it looks to the past, and yes, I do get a sense of loss and kind of certain people being kind of lost from your life, not necessarily permanently, but the work that you've done is creating distance between you and people who can't match you. And with the Six of Cups, I do see you sort of looking back on those relationships with nostalgia, but I still get this sense of you knowing you've done the right thing, because there's such a strong healing energy here in your strengths, and we saw it over here, and it's just bloody everywhere, despite, you know, yeah, I mean, you don't have to see the Star card to feel it. Like, it's there. And it's almost like, you know, if you didn't sort of, how do I say, stick to your guns, if you didn't continue to embrace who you are, you could probably rekindle these relationships and get a brief shot of instant gratification, right? And soothe this Five of Cups pain. Yeah, there is a certain element of that, but you know, the Star is your true path. The Star is a more stable, lasting energy of fulfillment over happiness, I guess. And you know really that your true path is kind of to detach from these relationships if these other people can't meet you where you're at, if they can't meet your energy. They might one day. I don't think this is lost forever. I really don't, and I've been saying that all the way through. It doesn't feel like that, but yeah. You need to stick to what you know to be authentically you. You need to stick to stabbing these Four Swords in this Devil. And I think you know that. You don't need me to tell you that. But, you know, even if you do sort of fall off the wagon type thing, well, so be it. You know, you can still get back into this energy of the Star, even if you try to briefly dip into a bit of instant gratification or whatever. Right, environmental energy, please, for Scorpio. Ooh. Hermit, Death. Oh, no, I don't need cards everywhere. The Strength cards come out again, but I'm going to put all these cards back because it's too many. I did just see the Strength in the High Priestess. I mean, you aren't messing about, are you? You really aren't. These energies are strong. It's kind of crazy. I'm going to need a cup of tea after this reading, I tell you. Yeah, it's just this sense of withdrawing to work out what you leave behind. Thinking very carefully before you speak, which makes sense with this Hanged Man, this holding back energy. Thinking very carefully before you speak. Tell me more about this. Oh, you could be dealing with a Virgo, you could be dealing with a Scorpio. You know, Five of Cups and Death feel very similar. Look at the imagery. Yeah. There's a little bit of a sense here of I don't know why I'm seeing a fireplace. Like an open fire. Seven of Swords. I don't know. Some of you might be sat by an open fire right now. I don't know. I don't know what relevance that's got. Yeah, dealing with this sadness in this way, it's new to you. I don't think you've ever been in this situation where sadness has come about and you feel that it's so closely linked to your own actions, which were correct actions as I see it. I feel they were correct because you've got the King of Swords attached to this Death energy, which links back to this Five of Cups. It's like you didn't do anything rash here. You carefully considered things, you know, before you communicated, before you took any action, even if the action you were taking was actually a kind of non-action. You know, this isn't just some whim where you've decided to cut people off. This is you being you, and therefore certain relationships falling away. But it's like you've not experienced this before, so it's feeling a little bit Lonely? Yeah, it's feeling a little bit lonely. Maybe that's where the fire comes in. I don't know if you used to sit with someone by a fire and it's like you're sat there but now you're on your own and they're not there. And that brings you great sadness. I don't know why I keep coming back to this fireplace. Anyway. To a certain extent, with the Seven of Swords, I do feel you a little bit not 100% feeling that pain and burying that pain a little bit, because it's quite a new thing for you to have to deal with this sort of pain. It feels like you've not really dealt with it before. Well, you know, so be it. Let it come up and deal with it as and when you can. Yeah, I don't know, but there is a bit of a lonely feeling here. But I will say what you are doing here will definitely make space for new connections that align with you to come into your life. Hopes and fears, please. Hopes and fears. I'd love to see a lovers here now after I've said that. Actually, no, I'd love to see a lovers up here, because that is those connections that I do feel like you're inviting that sort of connection in. Two of Swords, yeah, conflict. Four of Cups, yeah. Knight of Swords reversed. Oh, you're worried you've been rash. I feel like you're worried you've been rash, or you're worried you've acted out of anger. Yes, well, in a way, maybe you are fueled by anger, but it's not in a rash way. It's in a way that I think you're acting true to yourself. So, but with the Two of Swords, there's a little bit of doubt. Your fear is, did I really do the right thing? Yeah. Well, I think we've discussed enough about the energies and where they came from and the whole thing here, that hopefully you feel a bit more comfortable. But yeah, that nagging doubt's always going to be there. Ah, yes. Four of Cups. Have I missed an opportunity? If you are acting in alignment with your own values and you're being true to yourself, then the opportunity that you have missed would not have panned out to be all that great, I can assure you. And maybe it'll come back around if someone steps up. Maybe it will. I don't know. Six of Wands in reverse. I don't know. Yeah. I'm going to... Yeah. I don't think you've... I think you might have told someone some truths, actually. And you're worried that maybe you should have held back and not done so. Or are you worried? Maybe you're more worried that you might tell someone some truths in a way that does come across a bit rash. And yeah, I think you've got great insight into other people's patterns of behaviour here, and a part of you just wants to bloody tell them what you think's going on with them, but you know that that's not going to help the situation. And with this King of Swords in your environment, like, that's a really good energy to embrace, which means that you won't do that. It just means that it just is accompanied by a feeling of loneliness to a certain extent, because obviously if you're telling someone what you think their patterns of behaviour are, which generally isn't really ever a good idea, is it? Because people have to work it out for themselves. If you're telling someone what you think their patterns of behaviour are, at least you're keeping some sort of connection with them. On the flip side of not doing that is that lack of connection and that loneliness that I feel in your environment. So yeah, part of your fear is that you might just rashly reach out to them and in a way give them what for, in a way. So you're doing this, you know, and it's sort of psychoanalyzing them a bit. Yeah. Because you don't want to miss an opportunity. You don't want to miss an opportunity, and you sort of see that as a bit of an opportunity, but it's an opportunity for connection. But ultimately, will that form of connection serve you? I don't, you know, you have to kind of think about that yourself. I don't like telling people what to do, but, well, I think probably from what I've said, you can kind of gather whether or not I think that's a good idea, but, like, you do what you do. It's up to you. 6 of Wands in your outcome. Ooh, a reverse tower. Oh. Continued learning about yourself. It was upright in your past. That intensity that you have experienced in your past that seems to have taught you a lot of lessons, it is tempered in your future. It is not the universe stepping in and saying, oi, you Scorpio, sort your shit out. It is you gently stepping in and saying, okay, I need to have a little bit more of a look at myself and continue the work. Because like I said ages ago in the reading, this is all ongoing, this work, isn't it? Okay, tell me more about the 6 of Wands in reverse. A 3 of Swords. Yeah, I think, you know, with the 5 of Cups in your near future, I think we already knew that it was looking like the people you were hoping might step up to the plate are not stepping up to the plate. And in your outcome, I can see you experiencing this as a bit of a betrayal. But it is allowing you to take a further look at yourself. There's a lot of lessons for you connected to it, and I still get this feeling that it's right, and it's a form of success for you. This whole thing is a form of success, but it's like you don't necessarily recognize it as success because it's like you seem to be losing some relationships that you didn't really want to lose. Yeah, does that make sense? Okay, one more card for the outcome for Scorpio, please. One more card for the outcome for Scorpio, please. One more card for the outcome for Scorpio. Whoop, there we go. That really jumped out. Son of Pentacles. That's kind of, you know, what the Son of Pentacles here is, it's embracing the star over embracing the sun, embracing the star over a reverse sun. It's diligently applying yourself to your life path versus instant gratification. And I go back to what I said earlier. You know, if you dropped the realizations you've made about yourself and dropped your standards and dropped your values, that you could temporarily rekindle something here with past people who are gone from your life in some way, a distance in some way that you miss them. You know that if you sort of let go of what happened in you or try to reverse what happened into you that caused this separation, this distance, and kind of buried those parts of yourself back again, you know that you could get a smidge of instant gratification and just things would feel okay for about 5 minutes. Things would feel okay for about 5 minutes, and then you would know that you'd stepped away from your own star path. I don't see you doing that, not with the Son of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles here is what is helping you embrace this energy over this energy, because it is diligent, consistent, hard work, slow, can be slow work. The star energy is slow, whereas the sun energy is, especially in reverse, is more that instant gratification. So you know, there's sadness here. There's the Five of Cups, there's the Three of Swords. It isn't difficult in that energy to end up doing this. But with the Son of Pentacles on your side, I see you continuing to do consistent, diligent, hard work that ultimately in the long run benefits you, even if you're missing out on a bit of instant gratification. Okay, I'm going to leave the reading there for you. I really hope it made sense, Scorpio. Let me know in the comments. I love your comments. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, because it helps the algorithms, just gets the video out in front of more people. And if you haven't subscribed already, please feel free to subscribe. All right, thanks, Scorpio. I'll catch you next time.